So it's no secret that basketball and sneaker culture go hand in hand. It's died down recently, but back when I was trying to make the high school basketball team, sneaker culture was at an all-time high, and I didn't even know it. The connection between basketball and shoes really started with Jordans, and everybody wanted to be like Mike. And I mean literally everybody. Basketball shoes at their peak were worn off the court as much as they were on the court. Being a tough hooper really started with your shoes, and I learned that lesson the hard way. I was a late bloomer in basketball, and I fell in love with it to the point where I wanted to hoop every single day for hours, but only outside. I didn't know anything about organized basketball, so making the ninth grade team was huge for me. All right, so that's the first day of basketball class. I laced up the same pair of high top chucks that I've been hooping in all summer, and once I hit the floor, not only was everybody really looking at me crazy, but I was literally sliding everywhere. The shoes had no grip whatsoever. After we got done running like a million down and backs and three-man weaves, someone asked me why I didn't have actual basketball shoes on. Then I looked around and I noticed how everyone had a certain type of shoe on. So I laughed and I told him I forgot my hoop shoes at the crib. I looked down at his feet and said, "Man, I wanted those, man. But my mom couldn't find my size. Now, I don't have any idea what those shoes are." And he goes, "Yeah, man, these LeBrons are tough. They really big because they my brother's shoes, and I'm wearing like 3 pairs of socks right now." After school, I immediately looked up different basketball shoes and realized none of the shoes in my closet were hoop shoes. And looking at these shoe prices, there's no way I'm getting any new shoes anytime soon. But to my surprise, my mom said my cousins were driving down with one of his friends to take me shoe shopping because they had heard I wanted to play school ball. But it was getting really late and the mall was closed, so I assumed they weren't coming until my mom came and got me, and then we go outside to meet them. Me and my mom walk outside to the parking lot, and my cousin is standing there with some dude with their trunk open. Now, mind you, this whole time I thought we were going to an actual store to shop. These dudes brought the store to us. Well, kinda. So this guy was literally selling shoes out the trunk of his car. At the time, I didn't know fake shoes were a thing, and none of the shoes in his trunk really looked like the kind of basketball shoes that I saw online. So I asked the guy if he had any good basketball shoes. He paused and went to his back seat and grabbed a shoebox and pulled out a pair of low top forces. Now, I knew these shoes because I had already had a pair of high top forces, but those were my good Sunday best shoes. If you know, you know. Now, these forces that the guy had looked a little different. See, these weren't just regular all white forces. They were Gucci forces. Yes, I know. You heard me right. They were Gucci Air Force Ones. And my mom and my cousin thought they were so nice, bro. So we went with those as my new hoop shoes for school. Now, I know, I'm cooked. But at the time, I was super excited. I got my new hoop shoes and I could finally start becoming a true hooper. So I laced up my new shoes and basketball class is about to start. So we're doing layup lines and shooting drills. And the whole time, I could feel people just staring at me and my shoes. In my mind, I was thinking, everybody like my shoes. I must got the new ones on. Until old dude with the bronze came up and stood next to me right before the next drill started. He whispers to me, "Hey, man, what shoes are those? These? These are my new basketball shoes, right? They tough, huh?" "What? Nah, man. You wearing fakes." As we started doing the next drill, I was thinking, what does he mean by fake shoes? Like, is that even a thing? I'm next up for the drill. I ran to the corner and I made a hard cut baseline to the basket for a layup. And as I jumped for the layup, the bottom of my shoe completely comes off. Like my sock is literally touching the court while my bottom sole is just left in the paint. So I quickly grabbed my sole and went to the back of the line before anybody noticed. The coach was furious because I had missed the layup and told everyone to get on the baseline. And you know how it is when you're the reason that everybody has to run. Now we're running and I'm trying my hardest not to be in last. But even the big men are beating me. But I'm basically running with one shoe at this point. And coach is just screaming at me and then he pulls me in front of everybody. Now everybody can really see what shoes I'm wearing, and they can also see that my entire sole of one shoe is just gone. Now coach noticed my shoe and told me I was done for the day. I slowly walked back to the locker room and dudes were just giggling and whispering as I walked past them. Now I'm super embarrassed because I know for the rest of the year, I'm just gonna be known as the dude who wears fake Gucci shoes. So on that day, I decided to always have the best shoes whenever I hoop. And that was the day I literally became a sneakerhead. So if anybody has a plug, please let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks you guys for watching. Until next time. Deuces.